These are my old Inov-8 TrailFly G300 Ultras. I run almost 600 kilometers on these things, so time for a serious review. This has been my training shoe for a long time and my race shoe for the Lighthouse Trail in the Netherlands, up north in Ameland. A very muddy and sandy trail. But I also use them in the snow, in the rain, in the mud, on hard gravel roads, on asphalt, kind of all weather conditions you can test a shoe in. So let's talk about what I like about this shoe, what I don't like about this shoe, focusing on how they fit, how the cushioning is, how the grip is, and how the durability is. Before I do that, a quick disclaimer. I bought these shoes with my own money. So Inov-8 has no saying about this review. They won't see the review up front. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about these shoes. Second thing, I look at shoes as a heavy user. I'm not a technical expert, I'm just somebody who runs about 100 kilometers on a trail every week. Okay, let's start with the fit. I have a pretty wide foot, I have a pretty low arch, and I hate it when my pinky toe gets crushed. This is a size 48, which is a UK 13, US 14. My pinky toe is happy in this shoe. Just around the ball of my foot, I could have a little bit more space. Up front, I have about a finger of space in this shoe. I like that, especially for the downhills. It means that my toes are not against the front of my shoe during downhill runs. Around the arch of my foot, they fit snugly. Having said that, I have a little bit of space on the inside, not giving me the total support I would like for a shoe on the inside of my foot. At the back of the shoe, my heel locks nice in place, but it can slide a little bit, which always happens on a trail, especially when your socks get wet because you're running through water or running through mud. Because of the smoothness, I don't get blisters in this shoe, which is perfect. If you compare that, for instance, with the Ultra Olympus 6, the 5 was a perfect shoe, but in the 6 they put this Achilles premium cushioning, which just caused blisters because now your heel is really tight in the shoe. Your sock gets wet because of sweating, because of water. It starts to slide a little bit, and this material, the cushioning just gives you blisters. So the Inov doesn't have it, is like really smooth in the heel. It can slide a little bit without blisters. Perfect. Having said that, I do run with a heel lock on the right and without a heel lock on the left. For some reason, my feet are a little bit different. But as well with the heel lock as without the heel lock, both shoes are fitting good at the heel. The last thing, my big toe in a shoe often gets squashed on the top. With the Inov, I don't have that problem. Other shoes, it actually, some reason, my big toe is too thick, so it gets squashed against the cushioning here on top. With the Inov, no problem at all. Let's talk cushioning. I used to run on Brooks Caldera a lot, which had like a super lot cushioning and very nice soft cushioning. The Inov has a very thick sole as well, but compared to the Brooks in the beginning, this sole is really hard to run on. Not as nice for your long runs. Having said that, I don't know if it's my feet that got used to the cushioning or actually at some point the cushioning becomes a little bit softer. But after about 10 longer runs on the Inov-8, the cushioning starts to feel a lot more comfortable. So my runs on this shoe have been everything between 3.7 kilometers up until 63 kilometers. And the cushioning was fine. The longer runs, I start to notice again a little bit that I found the shoe a little hard. At the Lighthouse Trail, a 75 kilometer run, I was running pretty fast, a lot on the beach on the way back, hard sand, a lot of dunes with gravel paths. And during that race, after 5.5 hours, my feet started to hurt. I think a little bit of softer cushioning would have prevented that. Having said that, I did another 6.5 hour training run on them, which included more hiking because there were more steep hills. And then my feet were fine for all 6.5 hours. So it depends. Do you have to hike a lot? They're gonna be probably fine for an ultra. If you like soft cushioning and it's gonna be a race with a lot of running, you might be better off something like a Brooks Caldera that gives you softer cushioning. What I do like about this Inov-8 is that the cushioning now is still the same as when I started running on them. It hasn't diminished, where with Brooks, I definitely feel that the cushioning becomes less over time. I enjoy running on this Inov-8 on muddy terrain, rocky terrain, and especially on technical terrain because they fit so well. I don't have the feeling that my foot ends up kind of like next to the sole of the shoe, which I have in the Brooks. If it's very technical, I run over big boulders. With the Brooks, sometimes I feel like I'm almost ending up next to the sole. My foot more goes to the side as well on the inside as on the outside, where with the Inov-8, they just keep fitting perfectly even when the terrain becomes very technical. Weirdly enough, the only terrain the shoe doesn't perform on that well for me is on wet asphalt. If it's been raining and I have a little bit of asphalt to run over, the grip isn't great. Suddenly I'm slipping on this shoe. I run 575 kilometers on this shoe. If I look at the sole, my right foot still looks pretty good. There's a little bit of wear and tear on the left. Having said that, on the left side, you see definitely that the lugs are gone. The upper on both shoes still look good. I have a little bit of a hole on the left, but that's the result of a confrontation with a blackberry. So I think just putting a new outsole on this shoe would solve the problem, and I'll be happy to run another 500 kilometers in them, especially as I said, the cushioning is still good in this shoe. The technical specs of this shoe: the heel is 25, forefoot is 19, which gives you a 6 millimeter drop, and there are around, depending on the size, 300 grams. So would I buy this shoe again? Definitely, because I already have a whole new fresh pair awaiting to run on them. I'm very happy to run in this shoe everything from a 10K till a 50K, everything from a muddy race till a technical ultra. I wouldn't go above 50 kilometers with this shoe. Then I would look for a shoe with a little bit more cushioning. So far I looked at Brooks Caldera, Hoka Speedgoat, and now the Inov-8. So where does the Inov-8 fit in? Definitely above the Hoka Speedgoat. I wasn't very happy with the Speedgoat as a shoe. So it's gonna be between the Caldera and the Inov-8, which is a hard choice because if it's a technical terrain, I would definitely go for the Inov-8. But if it's an ultra, I would go for the Brooks Caldera. Now this is Inov-8's ultra shoe, they say. For me, for an ultra, I would love a little bit more cushioning. So by a little margin, I think the Caldera still wins for me over the Inov-8. So this will be number one. The Inov-8 will be number two. But again, technical terrain, this would be definitely number one. Ultra, this would be the number one. So it's just based on the fact that Inov-8 calls this their ultra shoe that I would prefer the Brooks because the cushioning is a little bit better.